travelling really broadens the mind. Some say it's the greatest education of all, and I feel that's true.
You're making a training tour to train people how to do motorcycle touring in Europe on their own, without the benefit of a tour guide. Are you trying to put yourself out of business? No, not at all. I know that there's lots of people who are very intimidated by travel. There's the fear of the unknown, and so the whole point of my business is to get rid of fear and replace it with love. And that's really what's all around the world.
This was the most amazing ride adventure I've been on in my life.
A good trip to learn how to ride with other people and become a team and learn to work together.
Learn about travel is planning. Have everything planned. It's down from how you're going to get to and from the airport, how you're going to get to and from the hotel, how you're going to, what exactly is involved in renting a motorcycle, and just the overall importance of planning.
I've been through so many things in my life that started out as being I'd like to do that, and ended up being I wish I'd done that. And that's the main reason that I came on this trip, because it sounded like fun and I just didn't want to pass it up, and I'm glad I came.
I learned that it's really not that difficult. You just have to do a little planning and research.
The key is when you're travelling, you need to be adaptable.
We'd never been to the Dolomites before, and we normally tour on vintage motorcycles, so it's normally short distances. We live in Malta, we go across to Sicily, so it's a very different experience. And this appealed to us. We both follow the podcast, the Misfits, and so we signed up for this, not really knowing what to expect.
Because it takes people out of their comfort zone, and I think that's the biggest learning experience you can ever have.
The greatest joy of motorcycling for me is riding with your friends.
Yeah, it made all the difference riding with people. I met everybody in this group has been fantastic. I've met so many good people, and everybody comes from so many different backgrounds. I mean, we are all so different, but we all have that one thing in common of loving motorcycles.
But yeah, this trip definitely made me a better, more confident, and I'd say safer rider.
I was also surprised at how good the best riders and how fast the best riders were, and also how safe and cool everybody was.
I also like the fact that we were riding very nice bikes. I mean, beautiful BMWs, brand new BMWs. We had a complete choice from the F900s all the way up to the GSs and the RTs. I think everyone I spoke to, it was bikes with perfect condition. Mine had done 5,000 kilometers. I mean, it was virtually new.
I actually really loved the Chatterbox unit. I was skeptical when you first talked about it. I watched your video. The video was really good. And also I found the controls fiddly at first, but you know, like just as you instructed us, we made mistakes, different languages, got on the wrong channel, you know. But once you learn how to use the controls, they were great. And I am, in fact, planning on getting a pair for my wife and I when we get back. Really good.
So much better than Bluetooth. As long as you had the channel and sub-channel set correctly, which once you knew how to do it, is very easy. Yeah, communication was great. No matter, even if we were out of sight of each other, we could still communicate. We could keep our groups together. The ride yesterday with 20 plus riders, somehow we managed to get all through the city. Yeah, the Chatterbox units are fabulous.
Look at this thing.
The thing I like about the Chatterbox is it's got a good range. Even when you got 2 clicks ahead, we could still hear you, and you can relay back, because the layout was, certainly yesterday when we were all en masse coming back here, you were lead, and then I was tail end Charlie, in some cases 2 or 3 clicks back. But the advantage with the Chatterbox, because it's radio, the middle person who's only a click away from you can relay it back to me and I can hear it clearly. They work flawlessly.
The Dolomites require you to ride safely, because in some cases there is no guardrail and there's a 4,000 foot drop on the other side. You'll have plenty of time to contemplate your short existence as you plunge to your death.
I did do the Champ U school. That was very helpful. Can't recommend that enough. Like, I get why you have people do it, because it kind of sets up a baseline of you're supposed to have this knowledge.
Done as much training as I could find wherever I could. And the fact that it was included was just icing on the cake.
And I think what I enjoyed the most about Yamaha Champ U School is to really explore the human element.
It's not like here's your box with a bed and a shower, and the breakfast spread is great. Sets you up really well for a day of riding between the food and the coffee.
It's in a nice location, easy to get to with the subway system. People were great. Loved the one in Italy. Oh my God, look out any window and you're just like, wow.
I was actually really pleasantly surprised with the hotel. I didn't really know what the conditions were like. I know this is an unusual tour compared to ones you usually do, but the hotel we stayed in Italy was, I want to bring my family back there. I could not believe the view from the room. The rooms were beautiful, the hosts were lovely in all ways. Yeah, very impressive.
The hotels were great. The Hotel Cotrina was fabulous. The hotel we're in now is very nice, very friendly. The staff is great, very accommodating.
A lot of times I was point and shoot on the menu if you couldn't figure it out, but the staff was usually helpful, and they wanted to help you. They wanted you to have a good meal.
We also live in the modern age, and there's Google Translate, where you can just point your phone at the menu and it'll do a rudimentary but decent enough to figure out what you're eating translation. But then also, I've done it. I know other people on the trip were doing it. We're just communicating to the waiter, like, bring me what you like to eat here, or what you think is good, and they'll send you out something.
The food was fantastic from start to finish. I have never spent much time in Italy, and I know that we were in a place where there were a lot of tourists and a lot of nice restaurants that catered to an international crowd, but I expected the food to be good and I wasn't disappointed. What can I say? It's varied. There was some weird stuff. I like to eat unusual things, and so I was able to find stuff like that.
You can't go wrong with ordering anything in Italy. I mean, all the food is awesome. And you have the translator on your phone. You can just read the menu through that, which is what I did here in Germany.
The thing I like the most about this particular trip is we are not behaving like tourists. We're certainly not behaving like locals, but we're going to places where tourists from overseas are pretty thin on the ground. Certainly in Germany, we're in a business district. When we were in Italy at Canazei, that's a resort town, and that's what stayed with me. We're not in a tourist town. It's not a town with chintzy tourist traps. This is a resort town, and a town that was founded hundreds of years ago as a resort town. Everybody is so welcoming. Everybody is so friendly. Everybody really wants to help you out, and so it is when you order food. You can walk into a restaurant where none of the staff speak English, as unlikely as it is, because trust me, everyone speaks English. But you attempt a little Italian. They're so happy to hear that. They want you to sit there, they want you to enjoy your meal and have a good time. So my advice is, go into a restaurant, have a dash at Italian. You can make a complete horse's ass of it. It doesn't matter. Point at the menu. The wait staff really want you to have a very, very good time. And the food was marvelous, it was authentic. Since this trip, I've developed quite a beer and pizza dependency, which I'm going to have to try and wean myself off when I get back to America. I've probably put on 10 pounds, but I've probably lost 20 years. I feel decades younger than when I left, because with the exception of one, I think I'm the oldest member of the tour, and I'm in my 60s, and I can still ride like a demon, but I'd kind of forgotten how to, and this trip helped me remember how to do it. I've had the most wonderful time.